My name's Becca, this is MakingLARP, and this video is all about my new character. So, as I told you in my gathering video, Mistress Hollow has passed on. She died at the final battle of the gathering, and so I've been able to kind of work on my next character that's coming in. I've already started on the costume and videos that will start going up soon, but I wanted to take the time to have a little discussion about who she is as a person. Now, the character concept is one that I've had in my head for quite a while now, and she is the Damsel, which is mostly what she's going to be known as in character to start with until she picks up some sort of proper nickname or plot hits her with a clue by 4. Been talking with the Lion's plot team a little bit whilst coming up with the character background, because the way that it's currently written, she doesn't actually remember any of it, which gives them loads of leeway for screwing me over, and I've probably dropped myself in it completely. But I thought it'd be really fun with the mechanic of Fae in the LT being able to kind of drop portions of their memory, compartmentalise them when they don't need them so that they can manage their long lifespans, to play with someone that's had no interaction with society for a long time. She's going to be quite anachronistic. She's from an older time, probably from the Fae realm of Orst before it merged, though she wouldn't have any real idea of whether it merged while she was still on it or whether she was on Lantia at the time. And she has, for probably about 1,000 years, been acting as a damsel for hire. So she was a very, very minor noble in terms of Fae. Fae have 2 courts, which are basically the Seelie, which is all the posh ones, and the Unseelie, which is all the wild Fae, which includes kind of your satyrs, your red caps, all these sort of your wild acting Fae types. So the concept is someone that's very, very low down on the side of the noble Fae. So she fits in within the structure, but is so low down that she's got the freedom that she doesn't have to. Having been outside of society for a long time, she's going to be a bit weird. It's kind of a cross between the princess kind of character and a mad scientist, because in terms of her abilities, that's the route I've taken. So she's going to be able to make potions, make poisons. I'm going to be, once I've got more of a feel for the character, deciding if I want to take any of the weapon or armour making skills as far as where they're not tied to being able to use any types of armour, though I will be making a set of leather armour for her as part of the costume, so she has some basic skills. She's also going to be able to invoke, which is the ability to use spells that are written down on scrolls, which is actually quite rare in the system. I think it only costs a couple of character points to be able to invoke. It's one of those things, you only get 16 character starting points, so it's a fairly big trade-off for most people. So at the Winter Parliament, she's going to have been with the company for a little while. They'll have found her whilst exploring a dungeon. She's been hired to basically be the prize at the end of it, and they've come in and the whole place is in disrepair because she's basically living out of one tiny little room in it, whilst there's been no adventurers coming for a very long time, probably the better part of 100 years, at which point she's going to be quite distracted and out of it in terms of the way the world works, and hoping that kind of being able to play up the kind of dottery, mad side of her will give me some new routes to go with in terms of character versus Mistress Hollow's rigidly practical witch approach, while still giving me a nice character that can do a supporting role without getting too involved in combat, which is something I really just don't enjoy as a player. So that's the basic concept for the Damsel. The next few videos should be about her costume, and as the event is in October, hopefully I will have a video around then of her daring exploits and not me having spent 2 months making costume that then she dies straight away. This is MakingLARP, and I died at the gathering 24.